Hello and welcome to my F1 25 driver career mode here today for part 7 for the Italian Grand Prix weekend in our F2 career. So we come into qualifying now ahead of the sprint race and feature race. We're around the final corner of the Parabolica. We've set 2 personal best sectors on our first lap, of course. We come up to the line and that first lap is going to put us P5. We went again, and Hadjar, our teammate, did an excellent job of getting in the way through the Husqvarna chicane after we'd gone purple in the first sector, and then he just decided to drag race us down towards the Parabolica. We still found a second, and then into the Parabolica he finally gives it up, but we ran wide, and that's cost us a little bit of time. So there's time in Husqvarna, and there's time at the Parabolica in the final corner. But we still, with that lap, go fastest. And in our final run in qualifying, we didn't improve, we were down. So we dropped also all the way down to P11. And that is where we are going to start the sprint and feature. So as the cars make their way then onto the grid ahead of the sprint race here at Monza. We're going to be starting P11 for both races. Of course, only the top 10 reversed and we're outside of that. So we're going to need one of our trademark great starts that we seem to always nail this season. But it's a 5 red lights, come on, ahead of the Monza sprint. We're out and we're racing up Monza, and we've got a fairly decent start if we go to the inside. And now it's a drag race down. Look at the speed we've got in the slipstream as we head down side by side with the high tech of Cordeal, trying to get around the outside of the chicane, and we get the job done. And we have gone from P11 to P3 in essentially 2 corners in a straight. What a start we've had there. But we went a little bit wrong on the setup, and we were really struggling in a straight line, and the top 2 pulled away, and now we're going to be under pressure from Cordeal behind, and pretty much everyone behind as he looks to go to the inside, but he's under pressure there. As now we head down into turn 1, and there is Colapinto around the outside there of the high-tech. Bearman is there as well, and that's good for him, but we're still P3. We're hanging on for now as Bearman and Cordeal side by side through the Curva Grande. Is it a Grande move for Bearman as they go into the chicane? I think Bearman's just got his nose ahead, and he has overtaken Cordeal there. That's a great move by Oliver Bearman in the Prema. And now the train was starting to form behind us as we go out of Husqvarna, and now Bearman is having a go at us, go at Colapinto, and he's got Colapinto there, and it's only going to be a matter of time. He's got our slipstream round the outside. He tries to go over the Parabolica at Colapinto. Colapinto's not having it though. They're side by side, but we're going to be punching a hole in the air for both of them here if they can both get in. The look of Cordeal. Cordeal's got all of us there. What a move that is. And another one's got us there as now we look to tuck into the slipstream, but we've touched the back of him. We've spun round. We're into the side of Bearman. You can see the contact there. Bearman's round. We're round. It's chaos at the first corner. Colapinto's been stuck. We've pulled it back in a straight line, and the race has been red flagged. So this is a replay then of what was happening around us, as this is Villa Gomez coming down, and then that's who we hit the back off, and then you'll see us in a second. There we are, spinning off and round, and then he actually beaches himself on the curb. Now this is Paul Aaron, not Cordeal, but look at him, he's got 4 of us there. Lovely move by Paul Aaron, but the track's been cleared and we're racing again as the lights go out, and we've got another great start. We've already got Bearman, and we're looking to get them as well, the Trident, try and get the inside of the dams into turn 1. We're side by side of him, looking to try and get round the outside. We slam the door shut and we get the job done there on him, and it's a bad exit there by the high tech, but we couldn't find a way through. As Colapinto leads now, we're into P4. So we've got back to whereabouts we were, and now we head down towards the second chicane. We're going for a look on Paul Aaron, and we've got the job done, and we're up into P3 in this. That's a great start. Once again, we're essentially undone everything that we bottled at that first corner incident. It's now at lap 5, just a couple of laps to go, and lap 6, the rain, there was a small threat of rain, and the rain has arrived here, and it's really come down hard, and we're really struggling to keep the car in a straight line through the Hadjar chicane. We've nearly lost out to those behind, but we've really held them up, and with just 1 lap to go, those at the back, well, it's worth the gamble, but it is only the final lap, are pitting for the wet tyres, and now we're just trying to scramble to the line with just about half a lap to go. We've nearly dropped it again. Up the inside of us tries to go Paul Aaron, but we hold it around the outside of the first Lesmo, as now we've nearly dropped it again there, sideways, drifting through the parabolic, as now as we're wide again, but we just about managed to hold on. Colapinto has won the sprint, and we are going to come home to P3 behind Antonelli and just holding everyone off.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be MP Motorsport picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance.
So that has been then your Italian sprint, won by Colapinto, maximum points to him, he gets the fastest lap as well. Antonelli gets on the podium at his home Grand Prix, and we come home for P3, just ahead of Roman Stanek, who got Paul Aaron on the final lap, to P4, Paul Aaron P5. Then down at the back there was a penalty for Bearman for the incident. That's probably a bit harsh. It was Gomez who was last, and that result means that after the feature race we could wrap up the championship. There's 38 points to go after this race, and we have a 40-point lead, so if we outscore Colapinto we will be F2 champions.
Gabriel Bortoleto lines up on pole position, with Roman Stanek alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid we have Verschoor, Crawford, Paul Aaron, O'Sullivan, Cordial, Bearman, Colapinto, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, Brown, Hadjar, Juan Manuel Correa, Enzo Fittipaldi, Maloney, Miata, Miney, Dennis Hauger, Martins, Barnard, Gomez, and Joshua Dirksen completes the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's get down to the track.
So it started raining in the sprint race, and it hasn't really stopped, and we're going to be racing in the wet for the feature race. Can we get a good start like we did in the sprint race? The championship can be wrapped up. Can we do it? We're ahead of Colapinto already today on the road, and we're racing and we're crawling off the line, but we've still got a fairly decent start. We've already got Bearman, we've already got several cars there. He's got a shocker of start, that high-tech, as now we're all over the road trying to find a way through. We're going to look to the inside, trying not to hit the back of Antonelli. And now trying round the outside there. We've got a good exit, we've gained a couple of places. We're going to look to go through the middle of those two in front, but we had to call it a day and back out of that one. But we're going to have a lovely slipstream going into the second chicane as we go round the Curva Grande. They're side by side in front. Is one of them going to give up? But we're going to go for the move on both of them, but we've had to back out of it. We've really thought about it, but we just didn't have the confidence and the grip to get the job done, as now we go through the Lesmos And just like the sprint, we were struggling with the setup, and those in front pulled away by a mile. As now we head down towards turn 1, we're under pressure, but we keep them behind for now as we go through the first chicane. Those behind is Antonelli, they're side by side behind Antonelli. Paul Aaron gets the place there. As now we head through the Curva Grande on lap 4. Now we head into the second chicane after going through the Curva Grande. As we've nearly dropped it there, as we're really struggling, we've run a little bit wide, we've got a bit of damage on the front wing as well, and Antonelli's seen a chance here to get up the inside of us at the Lesmo. We've run wide, we're over the curb, and Antonelli has got us there. There's not much we can do about that. And behind us is our teammate Hadjar. So he managed to re-overtake Antonelli, but now we're coming under pressure by him, and Hadjar now has seen a chance to try and get both of us here, and he has got both of us. We're side by side with him, Hadjar on the outside, we're on the inside, and now Hadjar's through, and now we're coming under pressure. We've really squeezed Paul Aaron there, and now he's going wheel to wheel with Antonelli in the Prema. As Antonelli's got a great exit, but he's got us, Antonelli, and now we're defending off Paul Aaron here all the way around the outside of the Curva Grande. He tries to get us, and he has got us here. Unless we can keep it pinned around the outside, we make him back out of it. Paul Aaron backs out, and now he comes under pressure by Zayn Maloney, but Zayn Maloney backed out of it, thought better of it. So this is Colapinto now. You can see how far back he is, and everything is going according to plan so far. As there's just a couple of laps to go now. Colapinto is behind us. Bortoleto is winning. He's just about in the fight, but he's too far back in the fight, really, if everything stands as it is. This is though Bortoleto rounding the final corner to come up to the line. Rounds the final corner. He's going to win a very tricky feature race here at Monza. It's a win by Bortoleto. It's going to be Victor for sure second, and we are going to come up to the line towards the final corner first into the Parabolica. Try and keep it pinned. You can see the tyres are all screaming. We've managed to hold off those behind, but we've got the critical P9 and outscored Colapinto, which was what we needed, and we're going to be F2 champions.
Yes! Yes! We've done it! That is the world champion right there. Well done!
And so the celebrations begin, and they are so well earned. It might have looked simple at times, but any racing driver will tell you, competing at this level, a high level, is anything but simple. There's no catching them now. We have a new Formula 2 champion.
So that's been then the feature race for the Italian Grand Prix weekend for Formula 2. Bortoleto gets maximum points, Victor P2 and Roman Stanek is P3. But most importantly, we wrap up the Drivers' Championship for Formula 2. Surely that guarantees us a place on the 2025 Formula 1 grid. And then down at the back there was one retirement, that being Carrera. So Victor Martins was the final finisher today. So in terms of the championship then, we've wrapped it up. It's 41 points the gap now to Bortoleto in P2. So that P9 was critical. Colapinto now down to P3. Paul Aaron is P4 and Antonelli is P5. And it's still Fittipaldi who is bottom with just the one single point. There will be a title fight though in the Constructors, 11 points between us in P1 and Invicta in P2. So that's going to be interesting. in Abu Dhabi next time out. But that's been then your Italian Grand Prix weekend for Formula 2. A pretty shocking weekend, but we come out with the championship, so that is good enough. But we have one more race in Formula 2 in Abu Dhabi. I'll see you then. Goodbye.